from the same
place as trap music. This that first react music. They can't hold me back. I'm feeling good cause I'm black music. Can't nobody touch this. My flow, I can't rush this. Put them on silence when I'm talking. You should hush, bitch. I am from the heavy base. My bro called a heavy case. Got a couple.
Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live, where we define, examine, and analyze words, sayings, and phrases used in American culture. And tonight we will be smoking on the word insecurity. So grab your thinking caps and get ready to smoke on words with two big nerds, with myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and the God, Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. And we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, God. How you feeling?
Peace, God. I'm feeling pretty good, man. Like the weather sucks, but I feel pretty good though.
Absolutely.
How about you?
Yeah, I got that built-in weather system kit too. You know, we want the fruits and veggies to get the rain, but man, we gotta go through the pain.
Oh man, you know what I mean?
Just a little bit, but always thankful for another day on this side of the dirt. Another Sunday, another day to be positive, peaceful, and productive. And looking forward to tonight's show. Matter of fact, everybody, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. Go ahead and smash that lickety like button. And also share the video, y'all. So let somebody know so they can grow. Before we get into tonight's show, y'all, we want to go ahead and shout out some of the people that's rocking with us and give y'all a little quick look at what we got at the DBCHEFTV network. And then we're going to come right back into it and get into tonight's word.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Some say that art imitates life, but we say that life is art. So visit the DBCHEFTV gift shop and get 15% off of your next masterpiece of fashion. How do you get there? Simply tap the link in the description. At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude at Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak Podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast, The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.
Yep, so welcome everybody back, y'all. Tonight, we are smoking on the word insecurity. And we're going to go ahead and bring this evening's questions up on the board. So, our first question of this evening is, what do you think of when you hear the word insecurity? Let us know in the comment section. What was an insecurity that you've had and how did you overcome it? Third question, how does childhood upbringing influence adult insecurities? Our fourth question, what ways does social media contribute to feelings of insecurity? And our fifth and final, last but never least, can insecurity ever be beneficial? And if so, how? So, as always, before we bring up the definition of the word insecurity, we always answer our first question. And that is, what do you think of when you hear the word insecurity? Going straight to the God Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm. Peace, God.
Peace, God. So, so for me, like, so when I hear insecurity, um, obviously the very first thing is the opposite of security. I think no foundation, not necessarily no foundation, but lack of a sturdy foundation, right? They got a lot of pieces, but not necessarily the right pieces stacked together so that it's not rocky, right? They got pieces over here, over there, over there, over there. So it's like we can walk, but it's kind of wobbly, right? So no foundation. I think what that creates. I also think people that are scared of the dark, right? They don't know. They don't trust themselves, right? They don't trust uh the choices that they made. They don't trust the fact that they walked into this room willingly and knowingly, right? Like um therefore they're scared of what's going to happen in this room, right? I think that I akin that to being scared of the dark, right? I think people that I don't know, just I kind of think like so. I think insecurity is kind of natural in a sense, right? But I think we're supposed to outgrow it. I think that in childhood, because we don't walk around with mirrors all day long and get to see what we look like all day, every day, right? So we kind of rely on other people to tell us if we got boogers or if we got stuff in our teeth and whatnot, right? Um, and I think
No. No. No, I am checking for my own boogers and I'm making sure because when you know you got some big ass teeth and you know when you chew and you get stuff stuck, you gotta
see,
keep a
see,
little toothpick.
that's true, and and,
Yeah.
and you have to.
Yeah, I know I got big ass teeth, so
You know what I
I
mean? Nah,
I
and
got I got to keep them clean though.
got
I
to,
keep them clean.
got to. But that's for conscious people that's not scared of the dark, right? They have the tools with them at all times to make sure that they are secure, right? They keep tissue with them. They pull out their phone and throw the camera on and check when they got like a little itch or something, make sure they ain't got nothing hanging, right? But a lot of people um don't check and they just I don't know. It's like I don't know. Like I said, I think we're supposed to grow. We're supposed to grow out of it. I think that's what puberty is supposed. I think that's what we're supposed to do in puberty, right? I think um, the process of puberty. At the end of that, I think we're supposed to be secure. I think the pimples and the that do she like me and the pheromones and all that excitement. I think once you get out of that stage, you're supposed to have not necessarily have found yourself, but know what it is that you want and be prepared to go get it, right? And I think that
After puberty.
I think that to me, I think that's
In a perfect world, yeah, hell
yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah.
I think, like I said, to me, I think that's what puberty is for, right? Like it's like a maturity process, right?
Okay.
It's kind of like the
Yeah.
way they say that your brain or men's brain don't mature to like 25 or something like that. Like it's a process that at least in my mind, I think, right, that you're supposed to grow out of that shit at some point. At some point, you're supposed to know what it is that you want, prepare yourself to obtain it, right? Ensure that you can maintain it and live life. Like that's security. That's a secure. But if you're unprepared, if you're not, if you don't have the tools, if you're ill equipped, right? You might be in a position and scared to death because you can't handle nothing coming. Like you hoping like don't ask me no questions. Like just pay me. Right? Like don't like don't
It's a lot. It's a lot of that going on.
don't ask me no questions, right?
Yeah,
But
it's a
I
lot
need
of
this
that
job
going
and I
on.
need more money and I need, I need to be in this position, but I'm not necessarily prepared to maintain this position, right? And that is in that breeds insecurity, right? Because you have the knowledge that you're not prepared, but for whatever reason you won't go get prepared and you won't say that out loud. Or people don't. I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah, man. Folks need to just, I don't know, just grab them and just go forward, man. Like, just know what you want.
They they definitely need to stop walking around with the booger face.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like we got phone, cameras on our phones. You know what I'm
Defi-
saying?
I definitely recommend don't walk around with the booger face. That's
You
a
know what I'm
snotty nose, but
saying? Like,
snotty nose looking like. But yeah, um, but definitely not being prepared. Um, not being secure in whatever it is that when I hear the word insecurity, um, it's so many things come to mind, but it's like not being prepared, not knowing what's going to happen, um, not knowing if it's enough, not knowing if how things are going to turn out, um, being in a state of what they call like uncertainty, um, a little uh, anxious, a little anxiety going on there in insecurity. Um, Definitely the thing you said, not being secure in what it is that you are doing or whatever you're involved in, whatever you're engaged in. Um, I definitely agree that like when I think of the word, when I hear the word insecurity, um, I also more commonly, it's an insult, like culturally now somebody will, and I've heard it used in this context socially and social media where like women are calling guys insecure about something because they have a moral compass about a thing, or they
they
actually
got they
have
got eyes.
yeah, or they have a, oh, you insecure. So, like you, um, I think in different spaces, where oh, that's where I was seeing it at with some of the some of the relationship stuff when they doing this thing about how many people you've been with and all this, and then girls like, oh, you insecure or this that or the third, um or you're not willing to do a certain thing, like I'm not willing to pay you to date you, oh, you insecure. Like
You don't want to pay a deposit, guy? Like, come on, man.
nah,
I
I'm
don't.
okay.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Can you
You
imagine
know.
that?
Well, I mean, I believe that like even in relationship, even when I would before I was married, and I wasn't a virgin when I got married. So I know that in dating, there's a level of insecurity, when you first start interacting with somebody, because you don't know how they gonna receive you, perceive you. You don't know if you're gonna deliver. If when it goes down, you might be confident about yourself, but you don't know where they are as a person. If they, you know, uh, judging you based on the last thing they had or what the, you never know. So I think that those insecurities come in all shapes and forms, when you in the workplace and it's a new job or whatever, and you trying to figure out, you want to fit, people want to fit in. A lot of people be wanting to fit in versus wanting to get their job right. They want people to like them and shit more
Just
than
do
they
the
want to
work.
get. Yeah, just, um so they're insecure about that. Like the people don't like me or somebody don't like you or some shit. I'm just like, you there to work, like like the only person who matters pretty much is the supervisor and how they evaluate you if you're gonna keep your job. So all the social shit, you're not really there to socialize.
At all.
But people are the people, people are people, and they care about shit like that. They care about being liked. So they're insecure about that. So that, so when I hear the word, I get all of those things, all of those um situations, all of those things that touch on emotion. But they all seem to be of uncertainty. They all seem to be that there's a level of uncertainty about something, you know. So I don't know if that's gonna be a synonym or something of the word, or if that's gonna even be, but that's what it means to me right now when I think of it, when I hear it. I don't know. Um, but we're gonna go ahead and bring up this definition of uh insecurity. Let's go ahead and bring this up. All right. So we got insecurity here, y'all. And insecurity is a noun. And it says the quality or state of being insecure, such as a state of feeling of anxiety, fear, or self doubt. B, lack of dependability or lack of certainty. A lack of safety or protection. And then they also see a lack of reliable means of meeting one's basic needs, food, something like food insecurity. And that's what it gives us right there for insecurity. A state or feeling of anxiety, fear, or self doubt, a lack of dependability, certainty, and a lack of safety or protection. And I think without us knowing the definition of it, I think we pretty much
Define it.
we pretty much passed puberty pretty fairly, pretty successfully.
Yeah, not. I mean, because every one of these things could, like, we could break down everything that we both said. Like
Yeah,
it's.
yeah.
I mean, uh, it's all this.
It was spot on. It was spot on.
Like you even said anxiety. Like, and I totally forgot about anxiety.
Yeah, well, you know how you be anxious for something, and it's like,
Yeah,
damn, I don't
yeah,
know if
yeah,
it's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna hit
yeah.
right, or I don't know if it's gonna, you know, if it's gonna come out the way you wanted it to turn out. That's always a feeling of anxiety or fear or self doubt. That's even self doubt, doubting yourself. You know, always. And then you was talking about being able to depend on yourself. And not having protection, say with safety, not feeling safe.
You see what it say? A lack of reliable means of meeting one's basic needs.
Yeah,
Like that's that. That's that. No. That's that lack of foundation of a sturdy foundation, right? Like
Absolutely.
You got a lot of stuff going on, but just not in the right order or close enough adjacent to each other to so they can rely on each other. So everything is shored up.
Yep. So let's check out the thesaurus and see the synonyms of insecurity. So we get insecurity as in instability, the quality or state of not being firmly fixed in position. That's what you was just talking about, having a solid foundation.
Yeah.
Shakiness, unstableness, changeability, looseness, slackness, inconsistency, instability, laxness, unsoundness, unsteadiness, precariousness, mutability, and those are the breaks. You know, these are the breaks, literally. Cause all that shit sound like some shit broken up. It don't sound like it's, you know,
And
it
that's what
don't
I'm
sound like it's
saying, God.
stable.
Like it's all fixable, right? Like it's all preventable. Like it's not permanently damageable, right? Like or damaging. Like it's things that you can like you fit in a job. Like say you lied on your resume,
Mhm.
right? Like you can real deal learn the job
Yeah, I've
on the
seen
job,
people do that. I've seen people do that.
right? Like and once you know the job, you know the job. Like who cares that you lied on the resume if you're doing the job? Like focus on doing. See, that's what you were saying about people want to be liked, right?
Yeah.
People will lie on their resume, get a job, don't learn a job, but be focusing on if people like them so that they can make sure that they can get another job because people like them. Somebody gonna look out for them instead
Yeah.
of actually learning the job, right? Like
Yeah. Trying to make friends instead of trying to learn and keep the job.
even with the relationship stuff, right? Like I think again, I, we did a whole casual dating thing. I think that we too loosey goosey. Like we got that looseness, in our dating right now, right? Or these days, I guess, right? Where we just gonna try it out. Like you're a person, I'm a person, and we just gonna see what happens, right? And 6 months from now, what what the sister say? 6 months from now, we'll find out what our real goals and real, how we really feel about ourselves, and we'll be honest with each other and see if we still like each other after we, wait 6 months or
Yeah, it's
I
nothing
don't
stable. It is very unstable. It is unsteady. I remember back in the day, it was a little bit before my time though, but they used to say, "Yeah, we going steady." Before they, you know,
going
bef-
steady.
before it was that's my girlfriend or that's my,
We going steady. Yeah,
So
that's
it
what I'm saying. Like,
definitely, it definitely is has a lot of shakiness going on, a lot of changeability, you know, uh, because the opposite of those things are, you know,
oh man,
security, stability, steadiness, fixedness, substantiality, you know,
substantiality. Yeah, substantiality.
soundness, fastness. And when we say fastness, we ain't talking about being a little fast ass. We talk
Mm,
about steadfastness,
steadfast, secure, tightness. Yeah.
firmness, being solid, security.
And look at that. Look how many synonyms they got for, but look how so few antonyms. Right? Like it's like
Let's see what you offer you on.
either off or you on, right? And apparently people make a lot of excuses to be off. That's why I guess there's so many different words for it, right? Because everybody got make so many different excuses.
Yeah, you know how people be like, "Oh, you gotta be flexible. You gotta." Oh, you a person that is not looking for any type of consistency, any type of regular. You're not looking for any type of regular. Matter of fact, if things get too regular, you might get uncomfortable.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, because you'll get bored, right? And you look at that regular as being bored. Like even with that whole, you asked the question, or you didn't ask the question, but you made the analogy of the how many people you've been with, kind of thing, right? And for some people, asking the question itself is is a form of insecurity. Um, and then for others, hearing the answer is insecurity, right? Like is so I guess to me, I think those two people shouldn't be together, right? Like if you don't like people asking those questions and this person is asking that question, that's your red flag that this is not your person. Like you ain't got to call. Like you
Yeah,
ain't got. They ain't even insecure. Like that's literally like they preference. Like their preference is they want to know who their potential partner has been with, s- for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna
yeah,
affect. That's gonna affect them, and that might be what they need for them and for their security.
that's
That
right.
doesn't mean that they're insecure. That's just their preference. And you two people, or you two types of people, shouldn't be together because you guys are oil and water, right?
Yeah, if somebody got a problem with that, then they definitely shouldn't be with the person if they have a
Yeah,
problem with it. You know, I'm under the in my I'm under the what I subscribe to is any question that I ask, I need to be ready for the answer.
100%.
So, so don't ask questions if you insecure about what you're gonna receive. You know, that's how I conduct myself. That's what I would suggest to anybody.
To
But
everybody.
you know,
Yeah,
so
all
we
right.
have insecurity, y'all, and we have the state or feeling of anxiety, fear, or self doubt, lack of dependability or certainty, and a lack of safety or protection, often lack of reliable means of meeting one's basic needs. All right. A state or feeling of anxiety, fear, or self doubt, insecurity. All right. So going back over to our questions tonight. Our first question was, what do you think of when you hear the word insecurity? Let us know in the comment section, y'all, what y'all think of. And we're going to go ahead and get into our second question. What was an insecurity that you've had, and how did you overcome it?
All right.
you know,
All right. So so insecurity that I had, this is gonna sound probably kind of silly, is it's been my height, right?
okay.
I was always taller than everybody, right? And at a certain point, like I was always too tall, and and my feet was always too big, right? So like at the age of 11, I started wearing my age, right? So from 11 on, I started wearing my age till about 17. Then it just stopped on me, right? But my height was always my issue because I can go to I can order my sneakers online. I just had to wait 2 weeks to get them back in the day, right? But going clothes shopping those, like I could never go to the mall after like a certain age and like get jeans and get slacks. I started to order everything online, right? Because everything was just the inseam was just too short, right? Everything was high waters back then, and back then it was corny. Like back then, you walked around, you was flooding, like nah, son. So what I did to overcome, I did two things. Two things. The very first thing I did was I learned to love my ankles. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they you might see them, right? You might see them, man, and that's just what it is, right? Because I can't keep buying clothes, especially if they shrink on you or whatever after a certain number of washes. It's like, man, what you gonna do, man? Like, it is what it is. The other thing that I did was I started getting fun socks, right? So you got like a lot of characters and stuff. So you might, man, I get a lot of compliments on my socks. Let me say that.
Yeah.
That's what I did, guys. I learned to love my ankles, and I got fun socks.
Fun socks. I like fun socks. I wear fun socks now.
Yeah, this was awesome.
You know, I do. Matter of fact, I was looking today trying to get some socks. I was in there. I didn't even go in there for socks, and then I was buying something else, and then I was just like, you know what? Let me go see what kind of socks because they had a sale, and I said, well, let me see what kind
Yeah.
of socks they got because I'm a sockaholic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's cool though. So the guy said his height, man. Something I was insecure about, and how did I handle it? Well, I was insecure about doing podcasts, about getting on, YouTube, doing live streams, talking in front of the camera, really just trying to figure out what I would be on camera talking about, what things that I would enjoy doing, and if it would be received, how it would be received, and things like that. And how I overcame it was just doing it and just saying, fuck how it be received. because I enjoy doing it, and I have a desire to build with the people that I'm building with, like yourself, on YouTube. Like I had that insecurity, like that, like I don't really want to jump out there by myself, just because I think honestly, I think it's a talent that people have to sit in front of the camera and talk to themselves, and like laugh at their own
I agree.
jokes
I
and stuff
agree.
like that. I just can't see me laughing at my own jokes. And I see people doing it. I watch other content creators. I think that it is a talent that they have, and I'm working on getting my talent up, getting sharp. I have to practice. That practice makes perfect. But that was definitely an insecurity that I had venturing into, coming to the podcast world, coming to, the online and doing that stuff. And then it was just like, fuck it, like it is what it is. You be wondering like, okay, are you gonna, if you're gonna if your visual aids are gonna look good, if you're gonna if you're gonna say too much and shit like that, if you're gonna have problems delivering or not being as articulate as you want to be, or all of that stuff like that. All of that stuff is things that I thought about. And then I said, you know what? Well, the only way to improve at it is to do it desire to do it, you know, put the faith in yourself that you can do it, and then go do it. and then challenge yourself to be better than you were the last time. So that's what we doing. That's what we actively doing something about it right now. And you know, we no longer insecure about it. Now we just trying to figure out the content to come up with, and that's all. You know, on other platforms, we Cigar Sundays, we got this together. You know,
Yeah, there's so many words we don't
and
get.
yeah, you know, because I mean, we on what, like 83 words now. I mean, and we still have so many more to go. But definitely that was something that, you know, that I was insecure about, and that's how I handled it. That's how I overcame it, or am overcoming it. So our third question tonight: how does childhood upbringing influence adult insecurities?
Hmm. You know, I think that one is if your parents are poor communicators and they don't say exactly what they mean for real, and they say how they feel instead of what they mean. Um, if like you might be a healthy child, and they might refer to you as a little fat ass, or make references to your weight all the time, or call you chunky, but don't put less food on your plate. Don't take you to no don't get you no gym memberships. Don't do nothing but rag on you and tell you that you need to do stuff. I don't know. I think if your parents just shit on you, they can make you feel like you ain't, because they ain't nothing, right? Like what I seen some stuff is like, because my parents are this, the most I can ever accomplish is that level. There's no way that I can go beyond that, because this is where I come from, right? This is
Yeah.
this is this is this is all I know. So since this is all I know, this is all that's available to me, kind of thing, right? So I think
Like I'm scared to not be a nigga.
right, and
Yeah.
I attribute that to poor communication on the parent side, because while this might be my ceiling, right? This may have been my goal, my ceiling, right? Or it might have just been where as far as I could have gone, but it is, I feel it's my responsibility and my duty to impart as much um beneficial life knowledge on you, so that you have all the options available to you that are possible, that I have, right? Because even though I might have made mistakes, it doesn't mean I didn't know things. I didn't know better,
Hmm.
right? And even though I didn't do better, I'm still I still feel like I'm obligated to tell you better, right?
Yes.
And I think a lot of parents, in their poor communication, settle on, damn, since I didn't make nothing of myself, my kid, I can't expect my kid to do, if you don't become a ball player or a rapper, then that's it, right? So I think poor communicating parents would play a detrimental role on the upbringing of a child, right? And you're left to hope that life shows that child enough other experiences, and they are open enough to see them and appreciate them, to be desirous of the same or more of the same, right? Or just desirous of just being curious of what else they can do, right? Like that was, kind of my situation. Like, the real talk, until junior high school, when I got bused from my neighborhood all the way up to the other side of Brooklyn. One, I didn't even know that other side of Brooklyn existed, right? Like, that neighborhood looked so much different than mine. I thought we was someplace else,
Mm.
right? And for me, all I saw was like, that's new, that's new, that's new, that's new, right? Options is what I saw, right? I saw other things, and because all I had was my project view for a long time, right? All I had was more of the same um hood activities. But when went to the other side, I ain't see none of that. Granted, it, it was hell over there, because we was on the wrong side, right? Like, they bust about 100 of us over there. So we was definitely in a different neighborhood, in a different environment, right? We was getting an experience,
Right.
and I'm thankful for that, because, like I said, it showed me that, Brooklyn was so much bigger than my blocks that I stayed on for so long, right? So that's what I think. I think poor communication and a lack of knowledge on opportunities is detrimental to the upbringing of the child, right? And it will hinder the adults, the progress and process
As an adult.
as an adult.
Yeah, from childhood. Definitely. How does childhood upbringing influence adult insecurities? Um, well, God, you touched on the parental aspect. I'm gonna go on like with your peers, your friends. So much stuff is social, where like what you were talking about, like the high waters, that wasn't in style. That wasn't the thing. But it's like things like that were not the thing, because instead of focusing on our education, people were focused on the clothes you had on coming to get your education. And that socially right there created an insecurity where, I went through that myself, even going to school. Now, I always had clothes. Um, my man Mac, rest in peace. When I saw him, he came to my house a couple times before his transition. And he was just like, man, I remember your mom used to make you wear dashikis and slacks. you know. So like I used to wear dashikis and slacks and dress shoes. So God, like I've been fighting a long time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he used to say. He used to be like, man, he said you wasn't a bully, but you was fighting everybody because I was so skinny. Like I always been skinny, and I never was tall. I never was like taller than that. Maybe at 9, I was maybe a little taller than all the other 8, 7, 9 You know what I mean? But like, nah, like I've been the same height that I am now since I was like 15. Okay, like I think I stopped growing about 15, 16. So he was just like, man, you used to wear the dashikis and slacks all the time. So I think that culturally, because we put so much emphasis on material stuff, that developed the insecurity to where a person will get grown. And I even had to check myself. Like, I looked at myself one time and I was just like, why do I have so many damn pairs of shoes, man? You know, like I only got 2 feet and I can't wear these all the time. And then I'm just like, look at all this money that, you know, that I could have actually put into something to make more money. I could have invested. And then we'll see socially where it's like, oh, the white boy with the dirty shoes, because he don't care about impressing this person, or, you know, and then that becomes this psychological thing where it's like, well, I ain't the white boy with no dirty shoes. But then you get to a certain point, you're like, well, I want to be the white boy with the dirty shoes, you know, because I got my priorities together. You know, like, it's not necessarily always a white boy with dirty shoes, but that's where it came from. That's the inception of it culturally. So I think that things like that, dating, when you with your peer base growing up, and you know, people don't date certain people. It's like, oh no, you can't date them because they live over here, or you can't date this one because they live over there, or you can't date this one because of this or because of that. You know, it almost like, how would that person know if they found their person, if, you know, if they are limited to that experience, you know, or excluded from having that experience. And then when you grow up, then you develop this, you know, this thing where it's just like, oh nah, I ain't messing with this, or I ain't messing with that. And I think, like, if it's ingrained in you, then, you know, then that's a little bit unhealthy, because you don't have personal experience with it to know, like, you didn't develop any of those things. You going off of what somebody said. Now, we can't belittle if it's coming from an elder saying, hey, you may not want to do that because, you know, I had that experience and it didn't work out for me.
It hurt a lot.
Well. You know. But it's like, how many nowadays we see like, oh, go ahead, they'll be fine. You know, it's not a lot of, you know, because the young people not going to listen anyway. They're going to, oh, I'm smarter than you. You don't know what you're talking about, old head. You don't know this, you don't know that. Oh, that was back in your day, blah, 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 you know. Or they don't see anything that's shiny enough to them to make them listen. You know, to encourage them to listen, because they don't see anything shiny enough. You know, like, they value material stuff so much, and it's stemming from like that peer social experience where you go to school and you don't have on this name brand thing, or you don't have on this name brand this or whatever, and you know, the peer base is like, oh, well, we not gonna hang with her because that's the ugly girl. And or we not gonna hang with him because he
got
dirty.
high waters.
Yeah, he got on high waters, or like, you know, he don't never have no name brand clothes. Like, your parents don't buy you no name brand clothes, or you be shopping at, you know, people just cutting on them the whole time.
Yo, not for nothing, God. You 100% not lying about that, because you could not have no friends if your clothes wasn't name brand for real. Right? Like,
you understand, God? So see,
like, you real talk.
you
Like,
see what I'm saying, God? So that's why when people look at me and they be like, damn, he don't be, you know, people be watching you and shit because they don't got no life. You know what I'm saying? And they be like, damn, you don't got a whole lot of friends. People don't be coming and going and all this. Like, they don't understand my story. Like, as a child, just like you just said, when you are like the Bama, you know?
Damn, yeah.
When you a Bama, you know, when you are You know, everybody else got on cross colors and you know, e-tonics and
he tonics so
used
bad.
jeans and all that, and you got on dashiki dress shirts and some Buster
Corduroys.
Browns, you know what I'm saying? Got on
Some corduroys.
corduroy, you know what I'm saying?
I used to hate those
Like,
shit.
yeah, like that's how I'm rocking.
Yeah.
Haircut though, you know, kept a fresh haircut,
Yeah, I
you know.
remember, God, I turned 14. I started working. I told my mom, I was like, yo, I'm buy all my clothes from now on. I don't want you buying my clothes no more.
That's why I got 11. At 11, I was just like, you know, I wanted them shell toe Adidas. She was like, "You not getting those? You know how much those cost?" She was like, "I'm getting you some shoes, but you're not
You
getting
so
those." So I'm like, "All right,
alright.
all right." You know, I've had enough. Like you do not know. You know, you
You not
beating you.
outside. You
Yeah,
not
like you not outside with me. Like I'm, you know, you wondering why I'm coming in the house always fighting. Because look how you got me dressed out here.
outside.
You know, you know. Shout out to Nana V, man. Like I'm just like,
Side
damn.
out.
You know,
You
like
ain't
man,
lying.
look how you got me dressed out here. You know, you got me looking like I'm going to church every day and shit. You know, and I ain't gonna let nobody talk shit about me. I ain't no punk. You know, so I'm like, and that's the culture. Like that, you know, that's the culture where it's like if you getting joned on all day, like cause I could crack jokes, but the
Mhm,
problem was when you get good at cracking jokes,
mhm.
then somebody else want to fight you because now you got everybody laughing, but you don't look like you should have everybody laughing. So that was insecurities that would be in, you know, from
Hell
other
yeah.
people where they cracking jokes on you, trying to make you the brunt of the joke. And then you learn how to crack jokes. You like, okay, well, I don't got clothes like they got, you know, so let me just get slick at the jokes. And then you make the jokes and make the teacher laugh. So I was able to do that. And then, you know, then now they want to fight. Now they want to prove something more, you know. And then when I beat their ass up, then now it's just like, damn, now you got beat up and by the, you know, by the boy that wear the church shoes all the time. You know, you got beat up by a dude in some church shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I can move around in my, yeah, yeah, man. You know, so like just because that, and I'm gonna take my dashiki off, have my little tank top on, and let's go with it. You know
Cause
what I'm saying?
it gotta be clean. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because if I come in the house and it's ripped, that's gonna be. I'm gonna get it. You know, then I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna have to fight a fight that I can't win. You know, I'm gonna have to get beat up by mama. You know what I'm saying? So like, I ain't trying to get beat up because I messed up her clothes. They hers because she bought them, right? So
That's facts.
yeah, God. So I think that you know, just socially, when we look at those social things that those peer pressures,
Yeah.
you know, I think that those things will have you growing up, and if you don't grow out of it, you'll do things like in excess. You'll have things in excess where you just like looking at like, okay, well, you won't learn to shake it. You won't learn to think that you didn't have enough, you
Yeah.
know. And that's what I'm most thankful for now is just like I learned that I had enough. Like I wasn't naked going to school,
Never.
you know, and I maybe didn't like my clothes, but I only didn't like my clothes because nobody else was wearing the same thing. But then I had to look at my uniqueness now and my style. You know, like I when I put on when I put my drip on, like I don't look like nobody else with it on. So it helped me develop a even style for dressing coming from not having, you know, a mother that took you to the department stores and like picking out, you know, like I see
Mhm.
some parents do, a lot of single mothers that are doing well, you know,
Mhm.
they take their kids out and, you know, put them in all this polo and this, that, and all these, you know, name brand clothes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know, and dress them all up so they can look like the guy that they wish they had that ain't around type shit. And you know, and then you see the kids, and then it's just like, okay, yeah, their mother got them dressed all up. So like, that wasn't it. Moms was just like needle and a thread, boom, boom, boom. We going to the thrift store, Salvation Army, pick out some pants, you know.
Yes.
You know, pick out some pants, go try them on, go try. You come back with it. Can I get these? Nah. No. Like, they not even expensive. That's not the point. You not wearing those, you know. So yeah, so when you come from that, it's like you'll get older and you'll start to, you know, you'll look at it like, damn, like, why do I have all this shit? I don't even need all this, you know. And what am I holding on to? Am I holding on to some type of feeling that I had from childhood that I haven't, you know, learned to outgrow yet? So we was just talking about, y'all, how does childhood upbringing influence adult insecurities? And we were exchanging some insights. The guy Ali Dawudel gave perspective from parental guidance, parental influence, and I was just chopping it up and exchanging some insights on peer influence and socially, which segues into our fourth question. What ways does social media contribute to feelings of insecurity, you know, in our current climate?
So I think it's obvious, right? But it's the easiest way to say it. Social media. So the thing is, right? There are so many actors that are selling products, that are selling lifestyles, that are selling everything, right? Um, because that's where the commercials make you want stuff,
Yeah.
right? The marketing, the advertisements. If you don't have those name brand things, then you don't have the right things. So social media is always telling you what's the trendy thing to be up on at the time. And if you're not up on that, then you're behind. You're you know you're the dinosaur. If you're not doing the latest dance, if you're not using the latest words, if you're not using um, if you don't know that you're supposed to pay a deposit, but when you ask a girl out on a date, then clearly you're a misogynistic asshole that don't deserve to be.
You prehistoric or something,
You
right?
know what I'm
Like,
saying?
like, I gotta put a deposit down and you don't even know if you gonna cash in on that. And it's
You
like,
know what I'm saying? Like I gotta pay,
that's what's going on.
and I don't know if I'm gonna play, but
And then and look, I've even seen it with these social media things, and then it's like, well, it depends on how much you put down, and it's like, wow. So it's just, so you might as well just call it prostitution, like,
but that's offensive.
because
Right?
you're being truthful, like it sounds. because
It's
because I'm
crazy.
old because I'm an old head, and I'm like, that sound like you want me to just pay you for some intimacy, and you're telling me it depends on, you want a deposit, but you telling me if it ain't enough, then you're not going to consider you know, the intimacy,
Any level of it.
any level of it.
A hug, a phone call, a text back, or nothing.
So then I'm wrong, I'm disrespectful to just go ahead and ask you, well, how much for the intimacy?
How much for that?
You know?
Like the whole thing,
Yeah,
like
like, how
like
much for the
how
intimacy,
much
you
for the
know?
whole package, right?
I'm just curious, you know, because, you know, you may say this amount and I may only have this. So I'm, you know, just go ahead on about my business because I
Yeah,
can't shop that, you know,
yeah,
that's
right.
out of my price range. That's unaffordable to me.
which
That
which I think is respectable, right? Because if that's the situation, like let's not waste each other's time. Again, don't call me insecure. That's not you out of my price range, right? And that's okay. I still think you pretty, right? I would still like the opportunity to take you out and show you that I'm a good guy. All right,
nope.
but
Nope. Nope. Nope.
but you know what I'm
Nope.
saying? Like you
No,
already
you
said
gave me bad
that.
vibes. I mean, you done this before.
You know. Yeah, nah,
and
man.
I
So
and I know I'm handsome. So somebody who's less handsome done paid you. And I don't know how many less handsomes done paid you. So
God, say that again. Like, yo,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm not doing.
I'm not the one. Mm-mm.
All right. And
No.
and so, and I say actors, right? Because it's kind of like with all the relationship therapists, not all of, but a great many of them. You find that they're not in relationships, right? Or they don't have children, to give you a perspective that relates to you and your situation, right? They might have, in general, um, perspective, but that's not really helpful for you when you trying to, like, am I bugging? But thinking like this, you kind of need another parent to talk to that understands your question, right? Somebody that is just an intellectual can just give you an intellectual, but that's not a helpful, insight, because they don't know what you're dealing with. They don't know how you might be feeling right now, right? On certain things. Um, and they got all these panels on social media. They got all this stuff on what dating's supposed to be and how it's supposed to be, and everybody is loud, right? Everybody got
Yeah.
all this makeup on. Everybody got their best fit on, and they look good. They got the best microphones. They got the best stage, and so audio visually, is so appealing and so attractive, that what they're saying, um s- seems right. Like, and they can say something different every single day, and every single day it's like, yeah. And if he ain't doing this, and if she ain't doing that, then yeah, right?
Yeah.
Get a
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like don't struggle with love, because love's supposed to be happy and pleasant and sunshine and rainbows every day, all day, 24 hours a day. Even on rainy days, it's supposed to be good days. And even when you stub your toes, it's still supposed to not hurt because
It's
you in
still
love.
supposed to.
Social media got us thinking, like social media got us thinking that it's the real world, bro. Like I said, it gives us too much access to too many different perspectives, and we're not mature enough to handle them, right? Simply as using, gang terminology, right? Not realizing that these words and phrases can get you jammed up in the right or wrong situation, or the right or wrong location, right? If you using certain words and terms referring to people because that's how they speak over there, right? If you don't really know what those words mean and how they apply, and you just using them because they sound cool and it sounds like, yep, this is gonna solidify my black card. This is gonna, you know what
My
I'm
black card.
saying?
Not the one that say Amex Centurion on it, but the
You know what I'm saying? The melanin one. You know what I'm saying?
but the one that says I'm a real nigga.
I'm a real nigga, right? Like,
Fuck out of
um,
here.
social media just got us in la la land, man. Like, and like it took reality shows, which for whatever reason, I think everybody knows that they're scripted now. But for people still feel like they're still, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's like, these is a bunch of actors, man, and they just selling their products, and their products are their products are their discussions and their dialogues and their debates, right? Because people come to the.
Hey, we
I'm with
doing the
it.
same shit. We doing the same shit over
That's what I said. That's what I said. I'm with
here.
it. I'm with it. Um,
We doing the same shit, God, though. We are. I do think we have more substance than they have, though.
yeah, we follow it with a dictionary. Like that's essentially
Yeah.
we follow it up with
Yeah.
context, right?
Yeah.
We start off with how we feel,
Yeah.
right, and we back it up with what it actually is,
Yeah.
right, and we answer the questions based on the information that's been revealed to us.
That's right. Yeah, we show flaw.
We show flaw.
We show flaw. Yeah, we
Like
ain't
there's and that's
flogging
what
on here.
that's what I'm saying, right? Like there's no flaw over there,
Yeah, it ain't no flaw over there.
right?
But they want that. They like that shit though. They like
And that's
the fake, they like the fake flogging, perfect,
yeah.
like this is the weird shit. Like you were saying, God. Go ahead, man. I didn't mean to cut your knowledge, God. Go ahead, God.
No, that's like you said it perfectly, right? Like this the fake stuff that everybody likes, and it's kind of like the insecurity with the podcast, right? People don't want to do podcasts like because their podcast might not look like the winning podcast that's winning right now, right? They may not have the microphone that Gilly the Kid has. They may not have the headphones or the camera that so has or whatever, right? And it won't be as vibrant. It won't be as bright. Oh man, I don't have a green screen to make my background. You're gonna see my exercise machine and behind me, or my bike, or like those, they real, right? Because the reality is, if you don't have the quality microphone, your sound will not be as pristine as you may like it. The reality is, if your lights are not the way that you want them to be, you will not be as vibrant as you might want to be. The reality is, like, if you don't have the right equipment for the outcome that you want, you will not get it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't start becoming a podcaster.
Right. That don't mean you shouldn't travel, work with what you got until you
You know what
get
I'm
what
saying?
you
Like,
need.
like your
Like
your
damn.
phone is great. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got 3 cameras on the back of that joint. You know what I'm
Come on.
saying? Like pick one.
Ain't nothing stopping you.
You know what I mean? Like, um, and that's what I'm saying, right? Like that fakeness of no flaw is
Hmm.
what social media does, right? It's the la la land that everything has to be perfect. Um, how dare what your girl farted in front of you? Man, my girl would never do no shit like that. She a real woman. She know take her ass outside, down the block, and around the corner. Right. In fact, my girl don't fart at all because she a real cause she an alien. That's why she don't
She a
fart.
whole alien,
She,
dog. You ain't never came out the bath. You ain't never walked past the bathroom with your girl and be like, God damn, who died up in that mug? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Like
you know what I'm
y'all ain't
saying?
close. Y'all
That
ain't
not
close.
that not close. You're not like you don't respect the fact that this person is another human, right? And you're not allowing them to be human because they can't fart around you. Like,
Right?
like come on,
I'm like,
like
you ain't close to you on the toilet and be like, open up the door and be like, back. And then trying to have a conversation and shit. You know what I'm saying? They be like,
fuck your whole concentration up.
you know what I'm saying? Be like, can you? And she have to remind you, like, do you want to wait until you come out the bathroom to finish the comment? No, we good. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I think. I think social media takes away the flaw, and it gives us, it's kind of like the whole MTV Cribs effect, right? Where even though everybody loved MTV Cribs, and the most popular episode was Red Man's House,
Yeah.
but nobody went out and aspired to the Red Man's House level. They still aspired to the rentals. If
Oh
that
yeah, of
makes
course.
that makes sense what I'm saying, right? Like, so
Yes.
even though Red Man showed you that he's living within his means,
Mm-hmm.
right? And and he was honest,
Right.
everybody laughed at the time, and only in hindsight that he became iconic and a rock star. Like, he was the best one for keeping it 100. I remember everybody laughing at him back then.
Right.
I remember it being funny back then, right? And because I remember nobody knowing that those houses was rented,
Yeah.
right? Like, everybody thought that those houses was their houses, right? Like, they sold us on a whole lie, and then here come Red Man, right? And it's like, yo, your doorbell don't work, son. Like, that's cool, right?
For what?
Right? And that's real. And now you see a whole bunch of people, um that are not million billionaires, that are TV stars, that are musicians and whatnot, that don't have those great lives, but they're not less of their craft, right? The thing that we still appreciate of them is still dope, but the majority of people are not living in the rentals, or the rental lifestyle. Like, they don't have Kanye money, and got hundreds and hundreds of acres of land. Like, people are cool with the 2 acres that they got. And I think that's the moral of the Red Man joint. To be cool with what you got.
Just be even though you may not have a big old Cadillac,
They told you, man. They said it.
just be thankful
They
for
told
what
you.
you got.
They
Curtis
told
Mayfield been saying, been trying to tell folks since the 70s,
you. Man, telling
just be thankful for what you got, you know. But definitely, um, God, what ways does social media contribute to feelings of insecurity? Um, Man, I share a story. So I had I had a friend, and I had been asking them for probably over a year. I said, "Hey, let's work together. Let's do a podcast. Let's do this podcast. Let's work on something." And they kept telling me that they would do something, but it was based on another person doing something. And the other person that it was based on, so it's like if I say, "Ali, let's do a podcast. Whatever you want to do, let's work on something. Let's work together, right?
you.
Whatever you want to do." And you like, "Well, nah, I'm working on this over here. I'm working on this over here." But if uh so and so, whoever that person is,
Mm-hmm.
if they come along, then we can work on something, right? But you already know that so and so ain't gonna do shit.
Mm.
So I'm like, why don't you just tell me I don't want to work with you?
Yeah, dummy. Like, just say that. Like, that's what
Why
I
don't you
heard you
just
say.
say that?
That's what I heard just now.
Why didn't you just say, I don't want to work with you?
Yeah.
Right? So then you decide now you decide you're going to do something, right? So I say, okay. So I help you get everything started. You know what I'm saying? I help you not have to do research and get you to the place where all you have to do is press play and go. All right. So you don't have to do no research, no trial and error. All right. Then you want to treat me like an employee. Then you say, okay, now here's where the social media and the insecurity thing come in. Now I'm giving advice, not based on opinion, based on my own research and trial and error. But your goal is to prove me wrong about shit. Oh, that's what you think because that's how you doing and that's your thing over there and that's what. But the whole time, I'm not even realizing that you have an insecurity about working with me. I'm not realizing that because the social media thing got you wrapped up in chasing views, chasing likes, instead of focusing on the content, instead of focusing on getting the content perfected. Okay. So I ask you, well, I come to you and I say, well, we've been working together. And there's some things that you have me doing that I'm not, that are not in line with my role that you place me in. All right. But the first thing you say out your mouth is, well, if you don't want to do it, like, that ain't what I said. But it sounds like you want to let me go already. It sound like you want me to quit.
That's the rebuttal to your unreadiness.
To to me saying, look, what you got me doing is not what is the role of a person who would do that.
Yeah.
I do this in my capacity, in my capacity that you don't value, you know? So I understand it. All right. If you look at all the other shows online or podcasts online, you know, that role is person who opens and closes.
Yeah.
All right. So when I ask, is there anything, you know what I'm saying? So when I ask, like, hey, that's not what I'm doing, but what I'm doing is fine and I don't mind doing that. I just need to know that that's what my assignment is. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So that way I can be better at what it is you having me do, right? But they never once said, well, how can we structure it so that way you can do that? And we could still work together. Never, not once.
So they never answered your question?
No, what they did was just kept dismissing me.
Oh, hell nah.
You know what I'm saying? Kept saying it like, oh, well, if you don't want to do this and if you don't want to do that, or if well, I'm just going to do it like this and I'm just going to do it like that, like not trying to actually include you, incorporate you, or structure it so that way they can get the value out of you where you want to be, because they have a problem with your shine already. They have a problem with the capacity that you already function in, because they think you're going to take away from what they got going on. And I didn't realize that. I honestly didn't realize it, because when you genuinely trying to help people, see, this is what I be talking about. When you genuinely be trying to help people, you look past things that seem insecure.
That's true.
You know, you look way past it, and what you do is you try to focus on working on the things that's going to help further whatever it is you got going on. But then what I also had to realize was that some people can't lead. They want to be in charge, but they don't have the skill set necessary. They need some followers. They need people to follow, but they need people to follow blindly. And when I look at the things that I was doing as far as like receiving in my role, in my capacity, you know, I feel insecure about it because I was out of my element. I was like, you know, like this isn't something that I do on a daily basis as far as the topics, the interests.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't something that I'm actively studying or following. But I was like, I'm ready to embrace this though, you know, because I'm gonna get sharper at even with doing what we do, you know, and all the other channels that, you know, that we have across the network that we doing things. So it's gonna help polish. Plus, I get to work together.
Yeah.
And when I realized that when people don't want to work together and they want you to work for them, you know, that's a problem. And it's like, how the fuck you even want to be friends, you know, if at the same time you're not even friend enough to say, you know, to just say like, shit, hell, I don't want you wearing none of your DBCHEFTV stuff when you on my show. I don't want you to, you know, I don't want you to have too much of a role because you might have too much shine.
Man,
you know, I don't really want to work with you. I just want you to help me with what I need help with, and then just do whatever I tell you to do and assign you to do. Like, I appreciate when it's like that, you know, because then that lets you know what you're dealing with. That it's not where you having conversations with people and then people doing little sucker shit. And it's like, you know, it's like, come on, family.
That's the
You
word
know?
right there, guys. Sucker shit.
It's like, come on. So I'm seeing how the social media, you know, plays a role into those insecurities where people want to be all ultra big and they want to be this and they want to be that. And they don't even realize that, like, it's so much work that you have to put in. And what I realized is this, what I always tell you, God, this our show. Okay? We are building this together. So, if I'm on sucker shit and we ain't even making no money, then when the money come, then you already know I'm gonna be a bigger sucker. You know what I'm saying? So I would advise anybody in any situation, like, get the fuck out early.
Early.
Get the fuck out early.
Soon as you get a whiff of sucker shit, gotta go.
You know, because anything that you, what do I always say, God? Anything that you want to do, let me know. We gonna try it.
Let's try it.
Any constructive criticism that you have, let me know. If it's something you need me to say, if we need to restructure something, let's do it. It's no big I's, little U's. It's no big U's, little I's. It's us. Because if we building this together, then we're building this together. But if I think that you just interchangeable, you know, if I think, oh, you know what, I just get, fuck Ali. I can just get AI to do what he do. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck Ali. I just get AI to do what he do.
They find
I don't need that nigga. I don't need that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. You know? And like Doc, shout out to Dr. Mo in the building. That's nasty work.
Nasty for a piece, Doc.
That's nasty work.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, peace, power, and profit. For sure. You know, but I just understand that, like, you know, this social media got people tripping, you know, and not realizing that, you know, they need to let go of some of them fucking insecurities, man, because when somebody trying to work with you, they trying to work with you. They not trying to work against you. And just because a person like value the whole opinion, don't just be like, well, I only want to hear when you talking like this, or I only want to hear when you saying it like this. Like, it ain't gonna be like that when you working with people.
Facts.
You know, and if we building together, then we're building together. It ain't just a team of you. You know, it's a team of us. You know. So people always been tripping. Now you know it's fake folks than real. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
That's what I was saying about the MTV Cribs. Like for a long time, we didn't know that those joints was rented. Like we really thought they was living like that. We really thought that once you got on TV, you had money forever, and you can go buy a 50-bedroom mansion, and your TV money will take care of that forever, and you'll still have money to go out there and splurge on dumb stuff because you was a TV star once, so you made a song or two.
Right. It's fucking crazy.
They sold us, like as I say, man. This is La La Land, man. Everything got to be perfect when in a world where nothing is perfect. Right.
Everything gotta be perfect in a world where nothing is perfect, right?
Right. Like, and for whatever reason, we still looking for it. I'm like, I don't get it. It's like they turn us all into crackheads where we just looking for that next that first high of, yeah, you know, that feel good.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my cousin, and I felt what he was saying, and he was just like, he was telling me to pay for interviews, right? He was like, if you want to go up, cuz pay for some interviews, and I was just like, bro,
like pay people to hear.
Yeah, pay some people to come on, and then they share the content and be on their stream, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, cuz you're right. You know, I said, I'm not gonna say that you're not right, but then I'm chasing the high. So after I pay this one person and that go, then what I gotta do now? Do I gotta pay more people now? Do I gotta try to follow that next high? You know? I'm like, so nah, I'm not doing that, bro. Like, we got our own content. We're doing something that's different. This ain't fast food
at all.
You know, this is a home cooked meal. You know, this is vegetables that had to take time to grow.
It's farm to table, actually.
Yeah, this farm to table right here. You know, matter of fact, we can skip the pot if we need to, but we're gonna have to wait for it to grow, and we're gonna have to tend to it. You know, that's what Cigar Sundays is. You know, so we're gonna go ahead and get into some of this fast food real quick. Right now with
the Flavor Bombs, presented to you by DBCHEFTV.
Yeah, y'all. We got the Flavor Bombs going down right now. So we're gonna take a little break from the action and go over some of these Flavor Bombs. We got the POTUS says pay the troops. So we saw in the news that President Donald Trump told Petey, the Secretary of Defense, to find the money from somewhere so we can get some people paid, because you can't have the troops not being paid. Then we have the Real Housewives of Potomac Maryland, charged with fraud. I don't even watch the show, but it seemed like it was
What?
popping online, and most people know who that is who watch that type of stuff. So, and then our third and final, last but never least, precious metal price surge. So if y'all don't know, you're gonna learn today. You're gonna find out today. So let's go ahead and get into these flavor bombs.
All right, welcome back. I'm Austin Westfall. You're watching live now, a live look at the White House, the time in the nation's capital, 7:52. Getting some news in from the Pentagon and from the White House. We're hearing today that President Trump is directing Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth to use all available funds to get our troops paid on October 15th as the government shutdown nears its third week. After the Senate failed to approve spending legislation this week, military members were preparing to go without their paychecks on Wednesday for the first time in U.S. history. To scrounge up enough money to pay the troops, the Pentagon is tapping into its research and development accounts to use funding that Congress made available for 2 years, according to a OMB official. Specifically, about $8 billion is being shifted from accounts that fund military research, development, testing, and evaluation efforts, according to 2 people familiar with the plan who spoke with Reuters. President Trump posting about this on Truth Social earlier today. It reads as follows. Chuck Schumer recently said, quote, "Every day gets better" during their radical left shutdown. I disagree. If nothing is done because of leader Chuck Schumer and the Democrats, our brave troops will miss the paychecks they are rightfully due on October 15th. That is why I am using my authority as Commander-in-Chief to direct our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to use all available funds to get our troops paid on October 15th. We have identified funds to do this, and Secretary Hegseth will use them to pay our troops. I will not allow the Democrats to hold our military and the entire security of our nation hostage with their dangerous government shutdown. The radical left Democrats should open the government, the president says, and then we can work together to address health care and many other things that they want to destroy. Thank you for your attention to this matter, he says. We will keep you posted with any developments relating to the ongoing government shutdown as things stand tonight. There is no immediate signs of the shutdown ending early next week. That's something we're going to have to keep you posted on as the week progresses.
What you think, God?
Yo, God, we talking about insecurity tonight, right?
We talking about insecurity tonight.
I know for a fact if you don't pay the troops, we will be insecure. We will not be secure. Pay them people.
Pay the
right?
troops, right?
Right. Like you cannot not pay the folks that's leaving their home to defend democracy and defend this country, right? And expect them to still do it. Like we are anti-slavery here in America.
Man, what?
You ain't never lied. Right.
G Murray, shout out to G Murray in the building, man. He said no one does anything for free.
we are anti-slavery here. So there's no way that there's an expectation that they're supposed to have so much red, white, and blue on their heart that they're going to just keep sacrificing just for the love of a country that, you know.
I know. I had a conversation with one of my E7 buddies. Shout out Big Dog, Big Chief. And he was saying he was worried because he's still on active duty. He said he was worried because of the young people, you know, the some of the junior enlisted people, and was just, you know, considering like his own past. I know I was even, you know, mentioning my own past, like how, shoot, I was an E4 and I was still at the payday, at the loan till payday place. You know, Like I was still fucking that money up, like, because it wasn't a
Man,
lot, you know.
it
Like
took a minute to learn, God. I ain't gonna lie.
it took a good minute, good little minute to learn, you know, fucking that money up. So, he said he was concerned, but I understood where he was coming from because, in the Coast Guard, I think in 2018 we didn't get paid. So that was the news report was lying. The military has not been paid before. You know, this would not be the first time in history where a branch, you know, we were the only military branch that did not get paid that time. But I went through that, you know, but by that time I was already, you know, where we at today, mindset today. We've been on that for a while. So it wasn't as difficult. But definitely, man, they gotta pay the troops though. You know, that's not cool. Like ain't nobody gonna be out here
That's
but for so
unfathomable,
long.
God. That's unfathomable. Come on. You gotta
Yeah.
pay.
Yeah. I don't get how the Congress would even consider that. Like even both sides. I don't care if it was a Democrat or a Republican. I don't even get how,
Pay the
because the House,
military.
yeah, like the House had already passed the continued resolution, but then it was the Senate that was saying that it was held up, you know, for specifics. And I'm just like, how? You know, how do any group of people that are supposed to be, you know, a representation of the people agree that, you know, the troops, and maybe that has to do with, you know what, maybe that has to do with that was another thing I want to touch on real quick before we get to the next one. Did you hear about the Air Force base, the Qatari Air Force base that's being built in Idaho?
So I heard something. I ain't believe it though. Like I heard what I heard, but it didn't sound right.
It didn't sound right. Okay.
Didn't sound right.
So this is what I have to say about that. There used to be a thing that I used to say. I used to say, one thing about the USA, one thing about America is that we have the biggest military in the world, and we have the most dominant military in the world. And I used to say that because, and what I used to say to substantiate that was, any young person who grows up and decides they want to serve in the U.S. military for their country can pick one of these services and they can go live in any place. They can be stationed across the world.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
But the foreign militaries, if they serve their country, they not coming over here. Ain't no Russian base in, you know, we have towns, we have sections of towns like Little Odessa and Chinatown and
Yeah.
Koreatown, and you know what I'm saying? Like we have those, but they don't have any military installations.
Because that's crazy.
You know, so now that there will be a military installation on American soil, is the empire falling?
That sound fail, God. Like you said, where is it at? Like what's going like
In the middle of America, in Idaho. Idaho is where the potatoes at.
I mean,
Potato.
they put it
Potatoes.
with they put it with somebody where nobody will interfere with them at. Right? Like oh, that's weird, bro. That's crazy.
That is super crazy. That's super crazy. Let's see, they're going crazy in the chat.
That's crazy, God. Like
foreign bases on U.S. soil is out of freaking control, ain't it?
That's crazy, God.
The empire is falling. The empire is falling. We got foreign occupation. That's crazy to me. I'm like, man, are we third world? Are we turning third world?
Damn, God. Like,
Are we turning third world? Will we see America become a third world? We got football teams and stuff and basketball in
yeah,
South Beach. What's
yeah,
going on?
yeah. Son.
What's going on?
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm looking at the White House website right now, and this is my first time looking at it in like forever. And I don't know what's going on, God. Like right on there, they talking about the Democrats shut down the government. I'm looking at the founding fathers, and I'm sitting there looking at these pictures, and I'm like, man, like hell in a handbasket, God. Like like we going to hell in a handbasket. That's what's going on.
Take the gadgets away, and we are third world.
They say, speaking of those gadgets, I saw something today saying that
Crazy.
the Zuckerbergs, all of the tech giants, the Musks and all them, opening up Montessori schools, making sure that they kids and their friends, children, maintain and retain the basic knowledge of how to use they goddamn hands and their brain, right? How to use their eyes to observe the natural surroundings and figure out where they fit in, right? They're not allowing their children, according to the report, um, to have any type of technology um, during the course of the semester school kind of time period or whatever. Like it's like they're giving us all this shit, all this tech, AI. But the people that's leading it, 100% got their children
On some
uh,
regular shit.
knowing how to put two sticks together and make sure they know how to start a fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Gardening and
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
yeah, how to
that
purify
shit,
water,
wow.
right?
This shit, wow.
Yeah, people up here. I mean, it's just
Putting
and
puzzles together and shit like that. Like they
yeah,
still, no electronic puzzles. No touch screen love.
yeah, right.
Right? Basic skills. Yeah, basic skills. It's crazy.
Because even
It's
the babies coming out, it's seeming like they're coming out so ingrained in the technology and just knowing how to do everything. But the reality is like they parents, everybody got phones and devices in their hands. So when you holding a baby, when you got the baby see the phone got all these lights. They see you swiping, they see you doing all this, so they start doing that, and they just are naturally attracted to it. And you figure our children are getting more IT focused in a world where we might get an EMP, right? Like we might we might get they might shut the grid down on our ass. Um
I'm cool. I got candles everywhere.
oh yeah, no, we good, God.
We
I'm just saying
good, God.
'cause it's
I
all about
got
us supporting us,
I got
right?
candles
And
everywhere, God. You need some candles, let me know. My wife
right,
is a candle holic. Okay?
right, and
We got boxes of them,
and
and I've been trying to incorporate them in the decor around my lair,
it's we gotta go back, bro. Like, cause we don't like these people are out of control. Like a foreign base on U.S. soil. Like, I don't care if it's a part of the America I ain't
solar
never been
lights
to.
everywhere. I'm trying to tell you, solar power lights. I'm even contemplating getting the solar panels on the house. I know they just did away with the whatchamacallit, the tax credit. So
They don't get the tax credit no more.
I heard somewhere that I know for EVs it expired.
Mm,
I didn't want that crap no way though. I didn't want
yeah,
an electric vehicle. That's not my thing. Yeah. Definitely. We can get you some candles, bro. We know where to get them candles from now. Yeah. Let's go ahead and rock out this second one. Get to this RHOP.
Right.
Well, detectives in Carroll County say reality star Wendy Osefo concocted a story so far from reality that she's now facing a string of felony fraud charges. At her home in Finksburg today, there was no sign of the housewife, but her neighborhood was buzzing with the news as police accused Wendy Osefo of being a fraud.
It seems rather foolish, but I don't know what to believe.
Osefo is a cast member on The Real Housewives of Potomac, a reality show shot largely at her home in Finksburg. But last spring, while Osefo and her family were vacationing in Jamaica, robbers, she claimed, had broken into her home, stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry, designer clothes, and luxury goods.
It was the worst thing. It's so unexpected.
Shortly after the incident, Osefo discussed her loss in an online interview.
And when someone comes into your home, which is such a sacred space, and violates you in that way, you start questioning things.
But police are convinced her story of loss is nothing short of a lie. Wendy Osefo was arrested at her Finksburg home this week and charged with multiple counts of felony fraud. Her husband, Edward Osefo, was arrested and faces similar charges.
It became clear that the Osefos had fabricated the burglary and filed a false report and attempted to fraud their insurance company.
Detectives say the couple had claimed $450,000 in losses to their insurance company, but detectives say several items which they claimed had been stolen had actually been returned to the store and refunded prior to the alleged break-in. They also found social media postings showing Osefo wearing the $20,000 diamond wedding band, which she earlier had reported stolen. And then there was the couple's conversations, which detectives say indicated they were scheming for the maximum return from their insurance claim.
Specifically, Edward's communication with Wendy, and I quote, "Are there additional high-value items we can add to this inventory list? I'm trying to get the total to exceed $423,000, which is our policy maximum."
Some folks may view insurance fraud as an innocuous crime since it only affects insurance companies. That's certainly not true.
Police say there was no sign of forced entry at the home, no sign of unusual activity on surveillance cameras, but all signs, they say, of a housewife with a story far from reality.
So I don't care if she's a real housewife, fake housewife, or whatever she is, we would have handled it the same way regardless of who she was.
Well, when detectives arrested Osefo yesterday at her home, they recovered a diamond wedding band believed to be the same one she flashed on social media and then reported stolen last year. Jeff Abel, Fox 45 News.
Police say, I don't care if she a real housewife or a fake housewife or whatever the hell type of housewife she is.
I don't care if she married or not.
Her ass going to jail. You out here fucking around.
Yo, God. That's what I'm saying, man. Social media got a bunch of actors, right? Portraying reality to us. Or those of us that watch those kind of shows, right?
Never.
And it's like,
never.
Of course they would get caught for fraud, right? Because they lying. Like
they had smirks. They had like a little smirk, like this shit gonna help us go up.
yeah, right. This is because it's all just because they acted. So like all publicity is good publicity, right? Like it's just they're gonna get paid because somebody's gonna pay them to go on interviews, right? To get interviews and to tell a story and blah blah blah. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. It's just everybody want the fake stuff, right? Everybody want the lie. Like so there's no investigative reporting to find out if these people are really housewives and all this stuff, right? Like it's just, do you have the look? Right? I don't know, man. It's just
Dr. Mo said they're not making enough money to maintain that house. Yeah, them property taxes hit their ass.
I bet like them joints look crazy, right? Like
and down there in Maryland, and they had to, they had to figure out some way. Well, what we gonna do? We spent the money on vacation. We got to come up with some type of little scheme. Well, let's just go out of town and say, like, come on, family.
Take crazy.
Anything for clout.
Everything for clout.
Everything for clout.
Insecurity, right? Damn.
Insecurity.
That's 2 for 2 so far.
Insecurity. Yeah. We're gonna finish it off with the trifecta. Dr. Mo said viewership must be down on the RHOP, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey,
on RHOP. Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, I guess.
Potomac.
Like, stop it, man. That ain't even where the money at, for real, for real. All right, let's go ahead and get into this last one.
For months now, the value of precious metals have been on the rise. Silver and gold prices have doubled since October of 2023. I talked to an economist about the surge and came here to Grand Rapids Coins in my Rockford neighborhood to find out what's really going on.
The gold rush is on at Grand Rapids Coins.
It's getting more and more exciting every week as the prices go up. We're just seeing a lot of new faces and new people and a lot of renewed interest in gold and silver.
Owner Ben Soldat says his customers are equally looking to buy or sell.
Some people have been sitting on it for a while, want to cash in a profit, and some people want to look for some gains in the market.
He says people are buying because of fear of missing out and
fear of some economic woes, some world chaos, and people are looking for a little safety and security, and they traditionally poured into gold and silver.
Here's some data to better showcase the surge. In October 2023, gold was $1,800 an ounce. Now it's around $4,000. Silver was $23 an ounce. Now it's $50.
I'm just going to pause that right there for a minute.
Damn.
I'm just going to pause that right there for everybody out here watching. I want to know, has your 401k went up this much? I want to know, has your IRA went up this much? I want you to go and look at the S&P 500 and see how much it's up over the last, from October to October in the last 24 months. And see if it's even competing with these right here. Now, they showing you gold and silver bars, but I mean, you don't have to buy gold and silver bars. There's plenty of ways to own gold and silver to get in on these gains. You got ETFs, you got miners stocks, you have you can even start an IRA, a gold and silver precious metal IRA. They got different companies where, like a Glint card, you can actually, it's like a debit card, but you can buy gold and they store it for you, and then on your card it goes up, GLINT. Go look that up. This ain't financial advice. This is just dropping game so you can get in, because people saving money, people looking at money in the bank. Your money in the bank gets devalued with this thing called inflation. Inflation is our prices keep going up. So if we got $100 today, we can go buy some stuff, right? But then next year when we go to the store, we're going to need $125 or $130 to get that same stuff. That's the price of the value. That's the value of the dollar depreciating, because it takes more of them to get the same thing. Mm-hmm. Here, looks like you spent 1,800 of them to get an ounce. Now that ounce is worth 4 bands. You spent 23 of them to get an ounce of silver, and now that ounce is worth 50. So the more money that keeps getting printed, because we in what's called a debt-based economy, where it's a credit-based system where they have to keep printing money. That's why you think the government is closed, because they want to pass the budget. Why do they want it? Why is everybody off? Because they want to add more money. When you add more money, what that do? That devalues the money that's already out here. Things keep going up. We got the tariffs that's happening right now too, where now we see that with China just said that they banning all rare earth minerals, and that's the stuff that help make microchips and all the stuff that go into making a whole bunch of stuff. But that's the most familiar thing people can resonate with, as far as the microchips, and everybody be trying to buy Nvidia and everything. Okay. But it's other stuff that rare earth minerals help to make. Look it up, do the research. China talking about they banning them. Okay. So that's an investment you can make here too, because that's going to keep going up. So look into this stuff, y'all. Check this stuff out. You know, check this stuff out. And if you know me personally, call me. All right. And I'll let you know what I got going on. I will share the game with you because I want to see everybody win. When you tune in to Cigar Sundays live with me and the God Ali Dawood, we not bullshitting you, man. Like my granddad used to say, you bullshit a baker, you get a bun. You bullshit me, you get none. And we ain't gonna waste your time, because I won't let you waste mine. So we're going to continue with this real quick.
People are moving into gold and silver because they want to be in a place that's safe and that results in some growth during inflation.
Paul Isley, Associate Dean of Economics at GVSU, says gold and silver prices are rising for different reasons.
There is a supply deficiency in silver, so there's not as much silver available as people want to buy, and that's driving up the price.
Silver is used in electronic manufacturing, and there's not enough mining to keep up with demand. Gold has very little industrial usage, too expensive, and is considered by investors as a hedge against inflation.
This is really central banks, particularly China, who's been buying up lots and lots of gold. And they're doing it to reduce their reliance on the U.S. dollar.
Isley says even though prices have been rising, things will change eventually.
The likelihood of it pulling back is very high. The question is when. And we need the world to calm down a little bit. We need a little less saber rattling. We need a little less trade war.
In the meantime, GR Coins will still be there to help people buy and sell their precious metals.
Gold's really the world's oldest currency, so 3,000 years. So it's just been instilled in people to turn to and buy, and it's always been worth something. It's never gone to zero.
Soldat says to be careful when buying silver and gold and other metals. There are a lot of counterfeits and scammers, so make sure you're buying from a reputable dealer. I'm Darren Bauer, your Rockford area reporter, Fox 17 News.
Thank you, Darren. Yeah, God. So, you know, they talking about China been buying gold, man. All the central banks been buying gold. All of them. You know, all of them. That's what's been driving the price. The regular people like you and I that, you know what I'm saying, not even in it. People ain't even on it. People trying to, with the prices of things being so high with these tariffs and stuff, people trying to decide, you know, what bills they going to pay, what they not going to pay. People not having financial literacy, not understanding what the difference between money and currency. You know, that shit was by design anyway. But, you know, I'm like, if we could help somebody, man, help yourself, do some research, go look into that stuff and find out safe ways to own gold, silver, to invest in it. You know, it's a lot of stuff. They got strategic wealth preservation. Like, that's a place in the Cayman Islands where somebody like regular like us can just open up an account, start putting fiat in there, buying precious metals, and they store it for you in the Cayman Islands in the vault. Boom, boom, boom. Like, remember that used to be a big thing back in the day when people be like, yeah, you know, only the wealthy got accounts in the Cayman Islands and shit.
Only the wealthy.
Well, you could be wealthy now. This, you know what I'm saying? Like, the shit is online where you could just be wealthy now. You know,
but only the wealthy deserve it, though.
Only the wealthy, right? So I'm like, man, and Robert Kiyosaki, real quick before we get back to the show, y'all. Robert Kiyosaki, a lot of people don't like him because of his area. He kind of Trumpish, you know, but he cool with Trump because he always says, you know, he says, what is it that he said? He said, I don't save dollars, you know, I don't save money, I save gold, you know, because cash is trash, right? But then he doesn't go in always into the reason why. He doesn't go into the educational aspect of it. It just sounds more braggadocious.
Yeah.
You know? So it sours people from like, oh, you rich, you know, whatever. But because check out our last episode, Ego, episode 82 of Cigar Sundays Live. Because I look past the ego. Because I don't have an ego about it, because I'm curious to know, well, if you can do it, it's not you're doing it because you white. It's not you're doing it because you're this or you're that. You're doing it because there's a reason and you're winning. So I want to win too. So let me look past how you saying something, the delivery of it. And let me invest some time and research in what I can do with my little bit of pennies that I got and see how I can position myself and be able to capitalize too. And let me find out why you saying cash is trash, because I grew up with for the love of money. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about the Benjamins, right? So if you saying it ain't about the Benjamins or it ain't about for the love of money and cash is trash, then I need to understand why cash is trash. You know, I need to understand that, because right now we in an environment where it's like, if you ain't got money, you short as shit. You can't do nothing in America without some paper.
You ain't lying.
So I need to understand the difference of the two. How do you manage that? What is that about? You know, so y'all check that out. You know what I'm saying? Don't be on no FOMO. Dude said it's going to pull back. That's normal. That's a normal process of markets, but it ain't going to crash. Like the other guy said, it's never been worth zero. It's never been worth zero. And one thing's for sure that we know is a pack of Annihilators used to be like 10 cents or a nickel.
Facts.
Okay.
I remember
one
both.
thing, a little Debbie snack cake used to be 25 cents. Bro, they 250 up the road at the gas station, bro. 250.
I saw a sign that said a quarter water was for $1, and I was mad. I was like, "Yo, man, you crazy? Like, you talking about a little 25 cents drink?"
So you telling me now that it done got that much more expensive? Nah, you gotta understand what it is. That mean that it ain't worth the same no more. That the dollar done got devalued. I'm like, look at the dollar store. They talking about this 3%, 2%. All these academias talking about these 2%, 3% inflation, target inflation. Man, that's some bullshit. At the dollar store, it's $1.25. That's 25% inflation.
That's crazy.
That's 25% inflation. That is not no 3% target, this, that, and fuck all that. It's 25%.
That's crazy.
You know, so like, please, y'all, snap the fuck out of it. Go do some research. You know, I ain't always trying. Don't be one of them people when you hear something and be like, oh, he think he right about something, or he trying to be right. You know what? Because if I'm right about it and you're wrong, I'm going to be fucking winning. So the choice is yours. Real shit. So
you've just been flavor bombed, and now back to our show.
So if you just joining us, y'all, go ahead and smash that like button. We really appreciate it. And share the video with another wonderful person like yourself. We are smoking on the word insecurity tonight. And we have been answering our questions. And we are at our last question tonight, which is, can insecurity ever be beneficial? And if so, how? The God Ali Dawoodell at BK Soul Farm. Can insecurity ever be beneficial? And if so, how, God?
Honestly, I think only in immaturity, right, is beneficial. Because it allows you, if you're open to it, the opportunity to learn what you need or to figure out what you want or to that's why that's kind of like what I was saying about, I think we're supposed to develop, out of puberty, we're supposed to become secure, right? We're supposed to learn what it is that we want. We're supposed to learn what kind of girls we like, what kind of, if you're a girl, what kind of boy you like or whatever. You're supposed to learn um to get over yourself, right? Because you're the most awkward during that time. And because you're forced to learn to get over yourself because everybody got to go through puberty. Everybody's hormones change. Everybody goes through the awkward phase. um to me, I feel like that's like the life's natural, um like get over yourself or get it together thing, right? And I liken that to hit as you were without something, and now you have an opportunity to glean and learn what you need, prepare for it. Besides that, no, right? I feel like I'm going really hard to right. Uh Generally, I think insecurity is, I think you should be prepared. I think you should, um I don't think that for a functioning adult, there's no benefit in insecurity, right? It's like some childish shit that you're meant to outgrow, right? Yeah, so nah, I don't think so, man. Like,
I like that. Just some childish shit that you should outgrow. I like that. It's some childish shit that you should. Can insecurity ever be beneficial? You said no. It's some childish shit that you should outgrow. Unless in adolescence.
yeah, that's what
Unless in adolescence. Yeah. Yeah, I can dig that. I can dig that. Can insecurity ever be beneficial? Let me say this first. It is definitely natural.
yeah.
It is definitely a natural thing for people to be insecure about stuff. Um, but I do agree with the guy Ali that it is never beneficial to be insecure. Um, I know we mix. We saw things earlier today like anxiety, um, unstable,
Mm.
you know. Um, we saw these things, and when we think about them, I even look at them from a medical standpoint of anxiety, like it's not beneficial. Um, it is a circumstance where it's like, it's it's unhealthy, it's not reaffirming, it isn't firm, it is uneased.
It's debilitating.
It's debilitating, that's the word. And it's no way that when a person is insecure that they're going to get the best out of themselves or being able to be the best in whatever environment that they're in. So I don't think that there's any benefit to being insecure at all. You know, and one way to test yourself or improve yourself, I say is just be sure about things, you know, like do the math, do the, you know, there's a saying, there's a bullshit ass cliche that says study long, study wrong. You know, and I think if you study long enough, then you're going to be well prepared for whatever it is that you are challenged with, whatever the test is. So study long, study accurate, study the right information, you know, and then be confident about what you know.
Correct.
And, you know, and that will help with that feeling of insecurity, you know, and challenge yourself. Don't be scared to, you know, be scared of yourself. Like don't be scared to be scared. You know, like that's just a normal emotion, normal feeling. But
Human.
It's human, a natural thing. But definitely, yeah, there is no benefit to being insecure. So we went over our questions. Pardon me. We went over our questions tonight. What do you think of when you hear the word insecurity? Let us know what you think in the comment sections. What was an insecurity that you've had and how did you overcome it? We would like to know. Let us know down below in the comment section how you overcame your insecurity. And we always respond to all of the comments. How does childhood upbringing influence adult insecurities? Even if it's something that you went through, that maybe you went through in your childhood and then you had an insecurity growing up and you've overcome it, or maybe you still dealing with it, share, you know, because like I said, we respond to it and we'll share some perspectives, some insights that might even help you get through that. Who knows? We not the gurus or nothing, but we've been through some shit in life. And, you know, if it helps, it helps. Like we always say, if you like something if you like something here, pick it up, have a smoke. If you don't, leave it in the ashtray for somebody else to come through. Our fourth question: what ways does social media contribute to feelings of insecurity? Share something with us. Let us know. If y'all leave the comments, what we'll do is we'll start doing a review of the comments from the past show in the following show. That's how we incorporate it. We're gonna shout you out and everything. Okay. Can insecurity ever be beneficial? And if so, how? We just exchange insights on that. Let us know in the comment section and we will get back to you. And now our final question of the evening is the word insecurity. Bad, good, or misunderstood? The God Ali Dawood at BK Soul Farm.
Totally misunderstood. And I'm gonna say it's social media fault.
It's social, blame it on social media.
Right, because it's the fakeness, right? It's the fraudulent, it's the no flaw, it's the if you don't want to pay a deposit, I refuse to accept that me not wanting to pay a deposit makes me insecure.
That's crazy, right?
right? To find out if I potentially want to date somebody or whatever, right? That is crazy. I think people are just using. I think people are insecure and are putting their insecurities on other people,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think that's what's happening more times than not. So it's easier to say um, you're just being insecure, you're acting insecure, than to say we're incompatible, right?
Mm.
We got different goals, we have different visions, we have different requirements, right? Kind of like what I was saying, like if you're a person that is offended by the question of how many people you've been with, if that question offends you, you should not be with a person that requires that answer.
Yeah.
Like that person that requires that answer is not an insecure person, right? That they just love themselves enough to want to know what they need to know for themselves, right? Like it's like people that read the ingredients at the grocery store on everything that they buy, like they're not better people. They just want to know what's in this stuff that they're about to buy, that they're about to consume for their own well-being, right? They just want to know, right? It's not going to stop them from buying it if it has something in it that they can't pronounce.
Depending on the number, that might stop them. Be like, wow, you just give it to everybody. Like, damn, you know, like you don't have no type, no standards, no nothing. So,
But
yeah,
that also depends on that person's partner, right? Because again, I may not see your freeness in the past as a flaw, right? I might only see your lying about your freeness as a flaw,
right.
right?
Yeah, I could be like, you got 100, I got 100, we a perfect match.
You got 100, I got 5. Like I know you
There
got
you
a
go.
100, right? Like I know you got 100. I know that you're way more experienced. I know that.
Yeah.
So I can set my expectations for like, yo, like so I only got 5. She got 100. Man, she either got to teach me or we got to figure something out.
Oh, I thought you meant 500. Nah,
Nah,
nah.
nah,
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
nah. I'm
Oh,
saying,
damn.
I'm saying, because I'm saying
Oh, damn.
again, just because you have a need to know the answer doesn't mean that your need is from a judgmental place of judging that person, right?
But it is though, God. It's always a judgmental place because
I don't
because
know.
because look at the follow. The follow was if she got 100. See, I thought you meant 500,
Nah,
and
she got
and
100.
and this how I interpret it. What you said. If you got 100, if she got 100,
Hmm.
and you got 5,
Hmm.
then now I know what to expect. Cause
That's
she
cool.
could, cause she could teach me something because she got experience. See, now there's an expectation that you supposed to be super freaky because you got way more experience. You've been with 100 people. You know how to. You don't probably got no limit, so you probably gonna freak me all the way out. Okay,
But
but then,
that's how experience work though. It only get better the more times you do
but then, what if she had? But what if she had a epiphany where now she, wants to just that was that life, and now she's looking for something more conservative and more
it.
less.
Again, that's what I'm saying, right? Like social media tells us that the judgment is the number, right? And real conversations that I've had with real men in real life, the real answer be she lied about it. Right?
You see
Like
them? How did they find out? How did they find out the real answer though? Like that's
right?
crazy.
Like
How did
oh,
they find out the lie?
because they're alive, or they won't tell them about somebody that they slept with or whatever that turns out to be a friend of theirs, and it's like
Oh shit.
exactly.
Yeah, that's bad.
Right,
That's bad.
exactly.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
bad.
It's like it wouldn't have been bad, or it couldn't have been bad, right?
If it
Um,
wasn't lie, if it wasn't a
if
lie.
it wasn't a lie, right?
Yeah.
But because there was a lie, and now that's what I'm saying. Like we ain't got no integrity, right? So because we don't have any integrity, um, oh, we just don't like. And I get it, right? I don't like being questioned, um, by just anybody. I think you got to have the right to question me.
Mhm.
But the person that has the right to question me, I feel deserves answers.
The truth.
Yeah, like to
Yeah, the truth.
whatever question that they're asking me, I feel like they deserve an answer because this person is clearly qualified, or a person that I've given permission or authority to question me, or to get
Access.
access, access,
Access.
access. Correct, right? So
Yeah.
they deserve the truth,
Yeah.
and their question shouldn't offend me because I've given them access.
Mhm.
Now, if I feel like if now I feel like if the question offends you, then this is a person that you want to give restricted access to,
Yeah, you want to go on about your business.
right? And
Yeah.
I think that you should find your type of person, and y'all should be okay together,
Yeah. Yeah, you that'll let you
right?
know that ain't like you said earlier. Like if you have a problem with that, then you have to realize I don't.
You gotta cut
Okay,
that early.
yeah, cut it out early.
No
You
matter
know,
how fine she is, no matter how fat that ass is, like
yeah, get away.
get away. So yeah, misunderstood is where I'm at with it.
Yeah, guy, I would agree that that insecurity is definitely is misunderstood because it isn't studied enough. Too many meanings are given to insecurity from so many different perspectives where it's like, oh no, that's insecure. Oh no, they insecure. Oh no, they insecure. Oh no, they insecure. And I I think you were accurate about the lack of communication. You know, when you say that the person, if they don't like the question, then they should do something about it. You know, separate themselves. Okay. Because a lot of times people will evade the questions and not want to be forthcoming, have no integrity,
And that's a lie.
you know, and that's where I kind of put that on the situation where I was talking about earlier, describing how like when I asked the person like, do you want me to function in this capacity? You know, if so, that's cool. I will, you know, but I need you to say that, you know, but then they didn't want to give me an answer, you know, because they really didn't want me to function in the capacity, but I peeped it, you know. So I'm like, how you want to be my friend, but you can't give me an honest answer. You can't say, well, Pearl, I don't really fuck with you like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to do business with you, you know?
You win too much.
I'd rather compete against you, you know, because I don't know, like you might take too much shine, or I don't fucking know. It's just like,
You're not a sucker. Of course you
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's some sucker shit to me. So I'm just like, okay, I would appreciate that versus, you know, well, uh, no solution, like placating, like, yeah, I want us to work together, but that's the lower end, but then really you want the person to work for you, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
You don't want to work with the person,
You want to crack a whip.
you know? So I think that, yeah, and I already said, like, I already did, sir, yes, sir, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Like, I'm not looking for a boss, you know what I'm saying? I enjoy partnerships, helping people. But if we building together and we ain't making no money and it's conflict, then I know when some money come into place, you're gonna be on even more sucker shit.
It's
So
crazy.
so like you said, when you get those questions and you get these responses, the best thing to do is be aware and get the fuck out of there. ASAP Rocky. You know? So that's what we on, that's what we doing. And we want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with us tonight and smoking on the word insecurity with two big nerds, with myself, DBCHEFTV, and the God Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. And that was another thing. You know, I want everybody out there, we want everybody out there to have a peaceful, positive, and productive start to your week. And that was the thing too. You know, like I couldn't be introduced. When I'm online, man, I'm Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You couldn't say DBCHEFTV?
You know what I'm saying? Well, it wasn't that I couldn't say it. But you know, but it was like it was irking. It was irking people when I would say it. Because I'm just like I'm like, first of all, I'm not my real government name on YouTube.
In the first place.
Second of all, you know what I'm saying? Like, introduce me correctly how I'm asking to be presented online in public.
You can't say your name over here, God. Well, man, you got your own show. Say your name over there.
Yeah, you know. So it's like, man, that's wild. Yeah, Dr. Mo, I'm laughing. Shout out to everybody who pulled up Dr. Mo. Who else we had? G Murray in the building. We had Bubbling Brown in the building. We appreciate y'all for pulling up and showing out, y'all. And with that,
hey, Dr. Mo put a name in the chat, African Emporium. That's another brother I want you to link with. That'll benefit the show and the community, because they've been putting out information for like this on that financial tip for quite some time.
Okay, link them up, guys. Have them come on the show and chop it up with us.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, link it up.
Yeah, I gotta be a better friend. I just be assuming like, yo, man, if y'all know me, then y'all know each other. But I actually gotta say, Pearl, I got you.
Yeah, just make the link. Just
I got you.
You know, and we're gonna put it together. That's it. Absolutely. So yeah, y'all, we'll see y'all next time right here on Cigar Sundays Live with myself, Chef Earl Pearl, at DBCHEFTV, and the God Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm.
Hey.
Y'all stay blessed and beautiful, man. We'll be back next Sunday. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on the list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Some say that art imitates life, but we say that life is art. So visit the DBCHEFTV gift shop and get 15% off of your next masterpiece of fashion. How do you get there? Simply tap the link in the description. At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast. the veteran kettle. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude. At Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast. The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigarden Panel, smoking on words like two big nerds, hosted by DBCHEFTV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.